Hello, witches. I am High Priestess Autumn Phoenix. Thank you for joining me for this live broadcast, or if you are watching a replay, or if you're watching it uploaded onto Facebook and YouTube, because I feel like this is a conversation among witches that must be had. So the title of this video is called "Where Are the Witches in California?" Now, we know that witches are powerhouses. We know that witches really are the standard for living, especially if you are a person that wants real, significant, and permanently positive change, which is the definition of witchcraft. Now, I'm not interested in your political affiliation. It doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me, contact who you vote for, who you don't, why not. I'm not interested. But with the riots and the protests happening in California, you may be asking, how come witches don't use their power to ease the tension? We are. But witches can only do so much. Witches cannot overstep somebody's free will. Witches cannot make anybody do anything. Witches can change the energy, and then the riots and the protests will cease. But the witches themselves cannot change anyone. Witches cannot overstep somebody's free will, because at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do. And guess what else? There's nothing we can do about it. So where are the witches in California? We are working as hard as we can to ease tensions, but we cannot overstep somebody's free will. And to ask that question, where are the witches? You have to ask yourself this also. Who are the people in the protests, in the riots? They are black and brown people. Now you have to think a little bit more. Most black and brown people are Christians. So ask yourself this instead. Where are these pastors, prophets, prophetess, ministers? Where are these church folks? Why are they not getting their members? I have not heard not one Christian pastor, minister, apostle say anything. They have not been out there. Black and brown people make up the most Christian, and yet no Christian pastor, no Christian minister has said anything except to pray it away, to pray away the legal and illegal immigrants. Because I guess that's what Jesus would do, right? Just throw all the brown and black people out. That's what Jesus would do according to them. Ask yourself, if you are a brown or black person, ask yourself, where is your church? Where is your church? Why is your church not doing anything? They have so much reach in government anyway. Yet these same pastors and preachers and ministers will say that, oh, California is home to Hollywood, and Hollywood is demonic. And when people say that, listen, when people say that Hollywood is demonic, it's coming from people who have no talent, who would never make it in Hollywood. They can't sing, they can't dance, they can't act. They are not Hollywood material. It's jealousy. It's jealousy. It's jealousy. When you hear church members or church leaders talking down on Hollywood, it's jealousy. It is jealousy. It's not Hollywood's fault that you have no talent. It's your fault. Some people are born with talent, some people are not. I don't know what to tell you. But to ask where the witches are, we are here. We are doing everything we can to ease tension. But we cannot overstep somebody's free will. Because at the end of the day, people are going to do what they want to do. That's it. That's it. The people who say, oh, well, Hollywood is in California, in Hollywood, is demonic. You're just jealous because you don't have any talent. You can't sing, you can't act, you can't get any roles. It's jealousy. It's jealousy. It's jealousy. You're never going to be nominated for awards. None of those things will ever happen to you. It's jealousy. It's just jealousy. California, Hollywood is not demonic. It's not. It's just Christians playing on your fears. Playing on the stereotypes about Hollywood. That's it. That's it. That's all. Witches are where they are supposed to be. Where you are right now as a witch is no mistake. If you are in a territory, a country, a state, a village, on a beach, wherever you are meant to be there. I have always said that a witch is born in the timeline in which they are needed most. It's not a coincidence that you are here. It's not a coincidence that you are watching this broadcast live or watching a replay or watching on a different platform. It's not a coincidence. Witches don't even believe in coincidences. Everything truly does happen for a reason. Witches are doing everything they can with the powers that they have to ease tensions. But we are not puppeteers. We cannot force anyone to do anything. You have to want to change for change to happen. But like I said, you really do have to question church, because most Christians are brown and black people. But I have not heard not one person of color say, how come the church isn't helping us? How come the church is not out here protesting with us? How come the church is not out here to stop the riots? Maybe because they don't want to lose membership. Maybe they are afraid of their pastor or their minister or the prophet or prophetess or apostle or whoever title they have given themselves, giving them backlash. Ask yourself, where is your pastor? Where is your prophet, your prophetess? I've already told you where the witches are. Witches are in the places in which they are needed most. So I'm in New York because I'm needed here the most. You may be in California, Washington, D.C., Arkansas, Hawaii, wherever. And I do mean wherever. I mean anywhere in the world. Because you are meant to be there. The witches in California are working overtime. The witches in California, the witches, the high priests, the high priestesses are working overtime. But they know, real witches know, that they cannot overstep somebody's free will. They can change the energy, but they cannot change the hearts of men. I don't know how this is going to end. I don't know. All I know is that everybody has free will. All I can tell you is that witches are working overtime in California. They are. So don't say, how come witches? Don't use all of those quote unquote magical powers. Abracadabra, sesame, all those stereotypes about us. Why don't they do that? Because we can't overstep somebody's free will. We can't make anybody do anything that they don't want to do. You have to want to change for the change to happen. Otherwise known as real world action. You can't just do a spell and hope for the best or have faith in it. You don't need hope. You don't need faith. You just need to do it. You know what you have to do. You should just do it already. Why are you relying on hope and faith? You don't need those things. You know what you have to do. Just do it already. That's what witches tell people, but we cannot force anyone to do anything. I think a lot of witches would like to be able to make people do things, because witches sometimes get really frustrated and annoyed with people when they don't do what they know they need to do. But witches will just step back. Say, okay, that's fine. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to pressure you. I'm not going to poke and pull to try to make you do anything. Everybody has free will. We are doing as much as we can. I know there are many witches who have shields, wards over California, not just Los Angeles, where it's mostly taking place. I'm talking about the whole state. The witches who have protection spells over the state, have wards, have bind certain spirits of destruction, spirits of murder. I know that the protection, the binding of murder is working, because not one murder has been reported. Not one. Either through the protest or the riots, not one murder has occurred. So I know that type of spell work is working. But to ask witches where they are, when most black and brown people are Christians, they don't have the same energy for their church. They don't ask their pastor, minister, prophet why they are not out there with them. Witches are doing everything they can. And most of it is working. I mean, the real powerhouses of the craft of the wise is really working. Really, really working. But we cannot make anybody do anything. But where are the witches? We're here. I'm here. You're here. Whenever something disturbs where you live at, there is always a witch combating it. There is always a witch or witches trying to stop it. Wherever there's trouble brewing or trouble happening, there is always a witch or two or three doing their best to stop it. And right now in California, it's no different. It's no different. So to answer this question, where are the witches in California? They're there. They're working as hard as they can. Where you are right now is where you are needed, if you are a witch. Yes, witches are powerhouses. That's true. We are. Witches are the standard. We are. But we cannot overstep somebody's free will. Witches can change the energy, and then the problems in California fix themselves. But we cannot fix what is inside the heart of man. We cannot do that. No witch can. No high priest. No high priestess can. So I just really felt in my spirit to come on here live and talk about this, because not too many witches, high priests, or high priestesses is being this forward, being this bold, and I dare say being this brave. I said in an earlier post that Hecate can teach you many things, but she cannot teach you courage. And I had to repeat that here. So once again, I am High Priestess Autumn Venus, anointed and appointed by the Queen of Witches Hecate to be a voice for witches who have ears to hear and hands to receive Hecate's best. Be sure to share this broadcast on your own platforms. I will upload this onto Facebook and YouTube, so check it out there if you want. And I will speak to you witches later. Bye, everyone.